Hey guys, Taylor Moats here, and today we're going to be covering principle number 1, which is sleep management. I'm going to break this video down into 3 parts. First part is going to be evaluating your space. What are you working with? Are you working with a car, a truck, an SUV, a van? And we'll go over how much space you're going to be able to use, and going into number 2, where you're going to be building your bed and sleeping. Sleeping is vitally important just in life in general. We spend a quarter to a third of our life or our day sleeping, resting, recovering. It's very important that we get as much valuable sleep as possible while living out of our car. That's going to be a little bit harder than you may think, with many different factors that we will not cover in this video today. And then number 3 is parking and privacy. So after you've evaluated your car's space, you're looking at it, you've got the bed built and you're ready to go. Now you have to determine where you're gonna park and how you're gonna maintain your privacy living in such a small space, doing everything you need to do to be able to live your life and continue doing that. So anyway, let's get to it. This is going to be part 1, assessing the space of the vehicle. And like I said, I'm going to be using my car as the prime example because, well, that's what I used when I lived out of my car. So yeah. So assessing the space, we're looking at the car from the back right passenger side, right here. We're looking at it in here. And I've taken out the front passenger seat here. And so you can kind of see how much more space there is when you've taken out the seat. Now, for a 2011 Honda Accord, it's really just 4 bolts at the corners of the seat, and you have one more that holds the seat belt in, as well as the electrical components that are attached at the bottom of the seat. And that's pretty much everything that holds the seat in. By taking out the seat, you can really see how much more room there is in the car, and now you can start to visualize how I created the bed. So the next part is, when I get home, is going to be taking out the back seat here. Alright guys, Taylor Moats here, and so this is going to be part 2 of building the bed, creating the bed for your car. Again, I'm going to be using my 2011 Honda Accord as the example. This is the same car that I was living out of earlier this year in 2018, as you may have watched in my other videos. Same car. I'm pretty much going to go about it, setting it up the same way that I had it back then as well, just to keep it simple and use the same resources, which were pretty cheap and you can find almost anywhere, any Walmart or Home Depot. I'm going to be using the front passenger side, which is going to allow the most space, as you're going to be able to see from previously when I took the seat out. I'm going to take the seat out again. I'm going to remove the back seat, or the back part of the back seat, to allow even more foot room and to allow an opening that goes into the trunk. You're going to be able to put your feet or legs through that hole into the trunk, really giving you the most amount of space available to be as comfortable as possible. So yeah, let's get to it. Right, so when it came to building the bed, for me, like I said, it was important to utilize as much space as possible. Living out of your car, you're not gonna have a lot of space. So with the less space that you have, the more creative you'll need to get. So then what you can do is you can set up a shelving system like this. And then so I used a wood plank here as a simple foundation. Again, something you can find at Home Depot. I didn't have to cut this at all. They were selling slabs like this. And I mean, you can use towels, if you have excess towels, excess pillows, blankets. I got some simple cushioning that you can get from Walmart. Again, pretty cheap. And guys, I mean, it's really all about how creative you want to get. So this is very basic right here. So you can just kind of like fold the towel on top of itself, add cushioning. And then I'm gonna grab the most important part really of the bed, which is the actual bed. So we now have an actual mattress. All right, now it's important to set up your bed exactly how you want it. You need to be as comfortable as possible. I definitely recommend getting a body pillow and just having a lot of pillows. It just really helps make the experience much more comfortable. You're not leaning up against the center console or the side of your car. So it's not a perfect bed, no. I made this very quickly, but it was just to show you guys how simple it really is to create this bed. So you take out the seat, you take out the back seat, you get some simple shelving. Now the air mattress here was probably the most expensive part. It's like, I think it retails for about between $120 to $140. But yeah, I mean, this is it. It's pretty much a crude version of it. So, all right, guys, and on to the next part. Hey, what's up, you guys? So this is going to be part 3 of parking and privacy. So you've looked at your car, you've decided where you're going to make your bed, you've made your bed, all your stuff is in it, you're ready to go, and now you're thinking, man, I'm exhausted, I just got done with work, it's the end of the day, where am I going to sleep now? I mean, obviously you're going to sleep in your car, but where are you going to park your car so you can sleep? Now, obviously you want to be somewhere where you have privacy and a level of safety. You don't want to do it, you know, somewhere in a dark alley. Even though it might be super private, it might also be a prime location for some crime. So, all jokes aside, you want to stay safe. That's going to be getting into principle 2 in the next video. But my biggest thing when living out of the car was a quote or something I told myself was out of sight, out of mind. You don't want to be seen. And with that, it helps if you have tint on your car. Getting tint is going to be pretty big just because at night you really cannot see at all through this car. I could turn off this light and you're not going to be able to see anything, barely anything through the front windshield even. And so when you put up sunshades, which I'll put a link down below to the ones that I used, which are the same ones that I used in previous videos, using those sunshades to block the windows, plus having tint is really just gonna make that feeling of going unnoticed even more. You're just gonna feel it more. You're just gonna be like, I feel invisible right now. Keep in mind, it only takes one person to notice you and to watch you and to be like, why hasn't that person left their car? It's been an hour. Now I know, why would somebody watch you and watch a car for an hour? Oh, there's a lot of weird people in the world. I mean, you're living out of your car for one. Judgment aside, and don't get stuck up on judgment. It's a part of life. It's a survival tool we all use to survive. So, you know, don't get stuck up on that. We'll talk about that later in another video. But it only takes one person to get uncomfortable. So be careful where you park. Be careful that you park on side streets and neighborhoods. Because like I said, it only takes one person to notice a car that they haven't noticed before. They call the police. And again, getting into the legality of, you know, living out of your car, especially parking certain places. We're going to talk about that in another video coming up. Parking, you know, for my situation, I used a local gym. They had a pretty wide parking lot. And then for the last month or so, I actually used a buddy's driveway. He was super cool about it. I've known his family for years. We actually grew up in the same neighborhood when we were younger. He was really cool with letting me use his driveway, parking in the driveway. It's in a quiet neighborhood, and that was really the most ideal situation because there's no cars passing by, there's no traffic or people. It's really, really quiet. And the videos actually that are on my channel here, those were all made me waking up in his driveway. One of them, his mom was taking out trash, and you know, it's kind of funny. But yeah, this is it's an interesting experience living out of your car. This is only the first principle. I hope it helps you guys. And until next time, you know, on to principle 2 for the next video. I'll see you guys there. I don't know what to do with my hands. All right.